All right, setting our drawings for the assembly. We're going to just do the part file first. So file new or new and pick the drawing. We're going to stay with the standard A size. Again, if it only shows standard formats is selected, A0 in the ISO is the biggest, and your part will be probably scaled for especially something this small, probably what 10, 10 or 20 to 1 to make it fill up that space. A4 showing the portrait, A3, A2, A1, and you can kind of tell by the size of the title block that they're getting a lot bigger. The ANSI is based on the 8.5 by 11, so landscape and portrait. A B size is 2 sheets, so fold over your notebook paper and it becomes 11 by 17, 2 times 8.5. If you fold it again, there's two possible for the C size, but typically I believe it becomes the 22. Let's see, 22 by okay, I'm doing math. Let's see if I highlight it. Nope, it didn't show up down there. It comes bigger and then folds over again and becomes bigger. And then E size is kind of the largest of the format printers. And beyond that, you can make a custom, and whatever the roll width is by however long you need, it should be able to print it. But those become a little strange to set up. So, but if you had something really long and you wanted to print it 1-to-1, it is capable of doing it by creating a custom sheet size or creating a custom format. All right, we're going to stay with the A size. In the next couple weeks, we will make our own template. I like to start with those, but based on the this semester's direction, I think we're just going to stay with the standard template for at least the first couple of assembly projects. And just like in the assembly, it's asking us to browse to a part. So we're going to stay with this model view, but then we'll kind of transition into the view palette here in a little bit. So the L block is my part. I would like to create multiple views, and I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. And the three views are going to be the left, the top, the right, and the isometric. Now, that is interesting. So we're going to have to check something really quick. Right click and go to the properties. Make sure that's nope, not seeing it. So this one has not been set. I don't typically delete from the right mouse button context menu. So this is one that I like to customize. I'm just going to go ahead. Let's see, where did it go? And I think I just expanded it out. We want to make sure that we're in third angle projection. I'm not sure why the left was showing up in that one. So right click, let me get that back up here. Customize. I'm not seeing the check boxes that I would usually see under customize though, so something may have changed in 2023. So I'll come back to that. What I would like to do is add the properties list rather than expanding it out, but we'll come back to that. All right, so dimension, just like we are in the sketches, I go into the smart dimension. We have 30 by 30 by 30. And then I don't really need the top view because there's enough information here, or I don't really need the right view because there's enough information here that if I'm not going to put a dimension in that view, I really don't need it. So 15 there. And if I go let's escape and go 15 there, then I think I have everything that I need. If I were to go back, right click, smart dimension, overall of 30. And then deleting that view, I can just highlight the view when it's surrounded, hit delete on the keyboard, and it goes away. Right. So, pretty much we're going to try to get all of those dimensions. This is another one of those iterative processes where we're going to make a pass, and then as we go through the creation of the views and the dimensions, then we'll make a tolerance pass, and then we'll make a final pass to double check that we did everything. So I like the multi-sheet drawing, so I'm going to stay with that. If you want to make each of these a separate drawing, then we can save P5-1, and I don't really have a specific other than it will be the drawing, and we can save it to the same folder, and then this becomes the SLD DRW. All right, so I would save that. I would probably leave it as the L block if I was doing these individually. I would create the A, save it, create a new drawing, say for the B, save it. In the multi-sheet, I'm going to add a sheet, and then we can go back to the drawing and model view and browse to A. And my general, let's just go with the isometrics for these. So if I put an isometric in, we know what the parts are. We're looking for the configuration. This is not going to lend itself to the bill of materials, so I'm not going to quite go that route just yet. But we are going to be interested in having a bill of materials. So isometric, and then model view, browse, and see. Oh, and I brought that one in with the front view. I really wanted the isometric, so if I click on that view, I can go back into the standard views and change it. Its scale, it adjusted the scale to 1 to 2, and where these were 1 to 1. And I can see that down here on the bottom status bar. So if I want to change that back to 1 to 1, I click the little up arrow and I get the 1 to 1. And now I lost track again. So D and E. Okay, isometric. And then, oh yeah, new sheet. F. And G. And place it. All right, so we have all of our sheets. Then I would be interested in maybe throwing an overall dimension. Now this is an isometric, so even though we can apply these are going to pretty much be reference dimensions. They're not what I would call the detail. Right? So detailing is pretty much this. This is what I would build to. If I had to decipher what was going on here, this would fall into maybe an inspection, general tolerance between these two parts, however we connect them, super gluing them together, doing whatever. Smart dimension, so overall, and we already know the length and the width on that one. This one we can try the angle and see what we get. All right, so the included angle, and that jumped, so I'm just going to escape and go back into the dimension, pull it out a little bit further. It still wanted to do that one with the 15, so maybe a zoom up. So yeah, the isometric is going to be problematic here. And I don't have a good way of changing that. So Some of them I can change the extension line. This one doesn't look like it's going to cooperate. So I'll give it one more chance and then move on. Nope. It really wanted that to be the 165. So if we need that detail, I'll go ahead and get rid of that one. We're going to go back to the drawing view, model view. I can just do the arrow. We'll look at the front. And to have a little bit more detail, I should not have the same issue here. All right, so really, like I said, I'm not, unless there's a specific reason I want to show this in the isometric, that's not going to be the desired result. Let's see, don't really, okay, we can go from there to there. Oops, not in the smart dimension. And last, coming up on, oh, back into the smart dimension. All right, so this is mostly just an exercise in the repetition portion of our drawing and some of the things that we can do. And even though it's maybe not desirable to have the isometric dimensions, you can kind of get those in as a reference. The last one I want to bring in for the model view is to browse, and this one will lend itself to, let's go isometric, and we can just do a real quick introduction. And because of the size, it went 1 to 5. Let's see what half size looks like. Not too bad. So in the view and just off screen, I don't know that I'm going to be able to get that one in there. So just off screen is tables and bill of materials. So let's see if we can find that under the annotations. Nope. Drawings. There we go, tables. And bill of materials. It is in the right mouse button context, and that is where I typically like to go from. If we did parts only, we would just see a bunch of L blocks. If we did the top level only, let's do top level only, and then we'll go back to the indented and displays and OK. And then don't really need the C column, so I'm just going to delete it out. And so total is that there are 7 L blocks because I dropped in all of this mess and one of each of these. If I double click on that, it should, oh, no. Now we'll put it back in. Let's see, where are the properties? Let's say it should let me back into the table, but maybe not. Oh, it's over here. It already did as soon as I clicked on it. So if I go to indented, then we'll see, and let's resize that a little bit so it's not so huge. And then we would be able to see that the item 1 consists of an L block. There's 2 L blocks under item 2. All right, so just we'll get a little bit more into the bill of materials as we get further into the assembly. So still tinkering and playing and pushing buttons and figuring out where things are.